Hey everybody, we are live, and I'm really excited to be here. We got an amazing panel today, and I'm just going to kick it over to Kelly, let her go around and introduce everybody.
Hey guys, we are live today with a great panel. We have Lisa Grossman as a guest appearance. We also have Bruce Felton, who is a recruiting master in his niche. We have Damaysi, who is a recruiting queen and the queen of follow-up for her niche. And we're here talking today about the difference in recruiting and getting customers for the longevity of your business, and why both are important and what you should be focusing on. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Lisa Grossman. She's been in the industry for what now, 15 years?
28 years.
28 years, wow.
Well, 1988. 2008, yeah, 26 years, I guess.
Yeah, so you definitely have some insight as to, what we're talking about. There is a lot of people out there that are kind of confused and maybe a little bit scared on starting network marketing for several reasons, but recruiting is probably the most common thing that people are scared about doing. There are companies that tell you to start with your warm market and recruit your friends and family. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that. So that's where the customer aspect comes in and the longevity of your company. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Ellie, and it's such a privilege to be here. And for those of you that are watching, tonight I am dressed perfectly to be on conference call, but I love this. I love Kelly, and I think it's a fun topic. So if you look past the way I look, I have been doing this a while, and I think when people are brand new, the biggest challenge in network marketing as an all home-based business is that people's expectations are probably not managed properly because they don't really understand the business that they are operating in. And network marketing is, I hate when people say it's a numbers game. It's people are not numbers, but it is a numbers game. And everybody gets into network marketing wanting to know how to build this big group, and with misnomers of what's going to happen, and they're excited, so they expect everybody they know to be excited. They expect to be excited, aren't excited at all, and it sets them up for crushed hopes of something they didn't understand in the first place. And if you understand the business of network marketing is about building a network of consumers for a product or a service. That's really what it's about. It's not about everybody getting in it because they want to make money. It's not a business opportunity business. There's a tremendous financial opportunity available in network marketing, but there's an equally tremendous opportunity to be a user of a product in a network marketing company, and ultimately that's what about 95% of the people that ever hear the name of a company and use the products of a company end up being, regardless of how they started. And I think that warm market's important, but I think where the confusion sets in is there are three markets. There's the cold market, as it's referred to. Those of you people that you don't know, which is where everybody wants to start because everybody's afraid of making a fool of themselves and they figure it'll be easier in front of strangers. When you think about that, though, if you truly believe in what you're doing, if you truly love your product and you truly believe that there's an opportunity there for someone to change their life, why would one be talking to strangers before one was at least talking to the people that they know, love, and care about, and then the people that they know on a more professional level? Then there's warm market. These are colleagues and peers and people that see you how you are and will actually listen to you, and they're wonderful to share the entire picture with. But the third market, and the one where everybody should start, is not your warm market, it's your hot market. And let me distinguish who those people are. These are the people that love you so much that they care about you so much, but they trust your business judgment not at all. These are the people that when somebody gets into network marketing, their close friends and family tell them more often than not that they're insane. But let's see why that is. Is it really that there's something wrong with the friends and family? Let's look at it from a different perspective. I go to a meeting, I get excited, I come home, I call up Aunt Susie. Aunt Susie, this is Lisa. I went to this meeting and this guy I didn't know was drawing circles, and oh my God, it was so exciting. I didn't understand any of it, but there were people making money everywhere, and there were people at the stage, and they were all making money. So I spent all this. I spent $1,000, and the products are great, and I'm going to get rich, and you need to spend $1,000 to get rich with me. You sound a little nuts when you go out and talk that way. So when your family says you're crazy, and what did you do? They're not that off. As excited as you are, you're brand new, and you don't know how to do anything yet. You don't have a story. And it all starts with products. You know, the products are good and they're used, and it starts with people being consumers. First off, you, because if you get involved with a company and you don't love the product enough to buy it and not be a distributor, please don't get in the company. Trust me, I've been doing this for 25 years. I've had groups of over 1 million people, and I've generated a lot of revenue. So I think I'm a pretty good salesperson. By the way, people hate to be sold, and selling isn't required here. But if you don't love the product, only 2 things are going to happen when you go out and talk, because it's a relationship business. If I go to, I'd have to be a pretty good salesman to call up Kelly and tell her all about my product, and she's going to ask me, Lisa, tell me about your results. What do you think of the product? Oh, Kelly, I don't use it, but I think it's the perfect product for you. You should use it every single day. That's not going to work. So the other alternative is I could lie and say, oh, it's fabulous. You know, you use it, you're going to love it too, but the truth always outs. So eventually, if she's my oldest and dearest friend, she's going to wonder why I wasn't honest with her. That's going to damage the relationship. Or in the alternative, if it's a new relationship, it started off with me lying to him, that isn't going to work either. So if you look at person comes in, so if you like the product, you've already made a commitment you're going to use it every month. So you're a consumer first and foremost. And most people that join a network marketing company, since they didn't make a business decision to do so, 90 days, 95 days later, they're not going to exactly quit, but they'll kind of go passive and think maybe they're not ready to do, you know, maybe later the kids are going back to school. And when they get to that point, what's the most important thing? Because businesses are built on a minimum. You build all your businesses based on the minimum, not the maximum. What is the minimum that people can do that if everybody did it, or the average of everybody did it, would build you a sustainable, good, growing business with a residual income? Well, in network marketing, truthfully, that number, and I'm going into too much detail here, is usually about a new person generating about $500 worth of revenue in their first 30 days that they get serious, and then using the product every month. If everybody did that, everybody would have great success. But generating $500 of revenue isn't you going out and selling somebody a $500 package, because now they have anywhere from a 6-month to a year supply. So when that 90 days comes up, if they haven't gone out and moved product and gotten their money back, even if they love the product, why would they still be on auto ship? They've got 6 months sitting on their counter. But what if that product was all out among people? What if they got their money back? You see, everybody gets into network marketing saying they want to make money, and they do. But here's what they really want. They won't say it, but as leaders, it's your job not to hear what they say, but to know what they really want. Most people want to get their money back. They want to get their money back to prove to themselves that it's real, so that they don't look foolish. And the easiest way to do that is that very same, you know those people that love you so much that they trust you not at all, they see you when you were like 6 years old or 8 years old, and they don't think you're going to be successful at anything? Those people are there to help and support you. So think about this. If you opened Angie, if you opened an Italian restaurant, or Bruce, if you started a restaurant, who would be there on opening night? Your closest friends and families to support you, right?
Yeah.
Now, you're not inviting them to wash the dishes, but they're not coming to be fed for free either. They're going to come and fill up the restaurant, and here's what's going to happen. If they like the food, and the value's there, and they feel like the price was right, they're going to come back and tell all of their friends, because we all like to support and patronize the people that are our friends and the people that we care about. And if the food is terrible, they're going to lie to you, pay the bill, say, oh, congratulations, it was wonderful. They're going to walk out the door and never come back, because that's the way the world works. You can open doors with relationships, but at the end of the day, once you go through the door, products have to be good, or they will not survive in the marketplace today. The market takes care of it. So imagine if instead of calling Kelly, my aunt, and telling her this crazy story of all the money I'm going to make with something from this crazy meeting I went to, I called her and I said, Aunt Kelly, I've gotten involved with a business and I need your help. I'm not asking you to join it. I'm not even asking you to commit to be a long-term customer, but I am going to ask you to help me out. I want you I need 10 trial customers to try my product that I can get feedback from so that I can have help with my marketing. And if you like it, which I expect you will, at the end of a month, I'll show you how to be a preferred customer. I'll even show you the business at that time if you want. If you don't, I'll never ask you to buy it again. Can I count on you to support me? Now, would you help me out, Aunt Kelly?
Totally.
It's a Girl Scout cookie approach, and that's all network marketing is. We ask questions and we tell stories. So let's say that Kelly called all of her hot market, the people she's afraid to recruit, and by the way, the instinct is a correct one. I can tell you that if you talk on the phone, 60 to 80% will buy it and try it, and if you text, about 50%. And we literally have talk groups to go out and say, hey, I've started a new business. I love your help. And Uncle Frank, if you want to find out how you can help me, please text me back. Because a lot of people aren't comfortable initially making phone calls. So now Kelly would be out of product. And at the end of 30 days, what's going to happen is 2 or 3 or 2.5 to 3, 25 to 30%, as is the case with every product in the world that buy it. They're going to say, wonderful, I want to be a long-term consumer. And 7 are going to say, because this is your hot market, and that's okay. That's as it should be. Because now at the 90-day mark, Kelly's out of product. She needs that auto ship for that product that she really loves. She has her money back, and she has 3 to 4 close-knit friends and family who are never going to join her business anyway as long-term consumers. Now, if you're doing the math of how to build a residual business, at the end of 90 days, do you want somebody who's got a 6-month supply and is disappointed because their expectations weren't managed? Or do you want a person who maybe isn't that excited and going to set the world on fire anymore, but they love the events, they love being part of it, and they're going to use the product forever and show up, and they've got 3 or 4 consumers that are friends and family that are supporting them and helping them out, and also a community is the ultimate funnel. So if you take care of everybody and they all feel that they had a good experience, even if that experience is just hanging out and using product and introducing a few people to use product, who knows when their light bulb might go on? Who knows when timing will change, or somebody will speak on a stage at an event that they're at, or something will happen that will make them see a bigger picture. What we do know is if they're not there and they left disappointed, they're not going to see any picture at all. So that's kind of my take on where people should get started, is go out and ask for help. You know, the biggest separation I see between successful people and unsuccessful people in life, no matter what the genre, is successful people ask for help from other people. I've been asking for help my whole life. I've never had anybody, I've gone to the best in the space, I've never had anybody hang up on me, I've never had anybody say, how dare you call me, I've never had anything happen to me. Because people like helping people. People come to network marketing for 2 reasons. They want a better life for their family, and then they want to go out and help other people have better lives for their families. So I don't know if that helps, but I've been monopolizing the time, so let me let somebody else talk.
Well, actually, you know what, Lisa? I have a question for you. That was freaking incredible, and you definitely validated a lot of the feelings I've had lately, because it's been a more recent shift for me to go from the whole, like, recruiting numbers game with the whole, like, pitching and, you know, self-branding and attraction marketing and all that stuff. And, you know, it's been kind of a transition. It was a slow transition, it felt, but then, like, when I actually made the change, like, outwardly, it was just like that. It was really, really quick. So, but I just want to ask you, I don't know, do I have 2 questions? I was just, like, writing down questions as you were talking.
Ask away. That's why we're here. Have fun and ask questions.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is the quickest way to feel success is to get some customers to get your money back, right?
Yes, sort of, because I'm saying the quickest way to help a person get success, because let me strive, I was telling this off camera, but let me say that network marketing is first and foremost every day of it, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing it correctly. And by the way, my shift didn't come so quick. I had 2 years where I knew better than everybody and beat my head against the wall too. That was a long time ago, mercifully. You're in the business of offering people choices, and every day you are offering them choices. And asking questions, telling stories, and offering choices. You have to marry the process and divorce yourself from the result, because whatever people's choices are, provided that you focus on them It's not it's not about you. The reason when I say get customers, I say from the hot market, because this is your friends and family. It's a Girl Scout cookie approach. It's a lot of people doing a little. If you look at every single viable company, they all have a small package and a medium package and a large package, and it's anywhere from this much to this much. But really, it's never more than about 10 or 15 of whatever the popular lead product for that company is. And and then it's backed up by others. So asking your friends and family to buy and try something because they want to help you. You're not asking them, you tell that's the thing. If you don't like it, I'll never ask you to buy again. We do that as human beings every day because there is no method of advertising or relationship on the planet that can make somebody be a customer for something they don't want to be a customer for. But the way that we determine that, there's only two types of purchases people make, right? There's high ticket stuff like refrigerators and cars, and that requires really good salespeople who understand features and benefits and all of that. But these types of products are products that people try them, they like them, they become long-term consumers. If they don't, they don't, and that's between them and their experience with the product. But the best method of getting someone to do that is through a relationship. The very best way in a relationship to get help from somebody is to ask for help and be honest about it. And the very best people to go to help for are your close friends and family because they know, love, and care enough about you to try something if you ask them. And the key to that is, so when a brand new person starts, what do they have? A lot of fear. They're scared to death that whoever they meet or whoever they talk to is going to make them doubt their decision. And here's an interesting thing. And I'll tell you why I believe in starting here. But understand, I lead with the business. Because when people say distributor, consumer, which way do you go? How would I know? That's their choice. I'm only here to offer people the choice. The only time I lead with only ask for consumers is with that hot market because it accomplishes three things. One, it gets the new person a story, and it's their own story. You see, a lot of people are afraid to speak when they get started. They're not comfortable. But you ever heard somebody tell a joke, you hear a joke, and 5 minutes later you go to tell the joke, you can't tell it correctly? It's not your joke. The one story people will always tell correctly is their own. Now, they may not tell it well in the beginning, and that may take time, but you are giving people an opportunity. You are giving the people that you know, love, and care about the opportunity to be a hero in your story. And when people say no to people, people look at it the wrong way. Because if you went out tomorrow, Angie, and you talked to 100 people and every one of them said no to you, they are still heroes in your story. Because if you're still there after the 100th no, I promise you, you now have a skill set and a nuance and an understanding, and you are so much more effective at listening to other people and understanding what other people, what went right and what went wrong. And here's the other thing. People that you have a relationship with that say no, that's okay. But the next question is, since you're not interested anyway, can you help me? This is what I've chosen to do. What might I have done better? Or was I fantastic and it's just not for you? Or did you like this or did you like that? What resonated with you? What didn't? Because it's through trial and error over time that people get more effective. So once you've done that, once my new person has done that, and talk to all of their hot market because you don't want them in business anyway, then then you go out and you give people the big picture. And if you're sharing the big picture correctly, which does involve a financial opportunity, it does involve a great company, it does involve a culture, it also involves super products or better, because if it doesn't, why are you there? So if they look at the big picture and you show it to them effectively, they will choose where they want to go. And incidentally, if you did the perfect presentation to the perfect person on the perfect day and you were stunningly effective, only about 20% of the people that ever get all of the information decide that this is for them. So the first thing you have to accept is you're special because you're here and you saw it. But that no matter what you do, 80% of the people, it's not for them. Yeah. So why would it make sense to go running over people trying to recruit them when the products are for everybody? And if you don't do it effectively, making them the cornerstone of what you're doing, the 20% that say yes, great, they'll try it, do it effectively, do what we talked about, they'll be long-term consumers. The other 8 are going to be blown out of the water if you don't, make it their choice and make it about them. And those, for all we know, 4 or 6 out of those 8 would have at least agreed to be trial consumers. And at the end of the day, more users, more volume, more money. If
Right.
you want to, now for me, it's not about money anymore. I think this is really the last frontier of the great American now global dream. I don't think there's anything on earth that can give somebody the opportunity to build a global empire from a spare bedroom in their home or a smartphone in their hand that I have ever seen that has the ripple effect and pays you more. The more effective you are at helping people to be not as good as you, not be your competition, but be better than you. The more you can go out and help people to be better than you are, the more financially it can benefit you. And I don't think there's anything else on the earth that does that. So
Yeah,
once you've gone,
that's why we're all here. I mean, we all see that vision. I know. That's
so
this
after,
is
sorry,
definitely
so
taking us to.
after you've moved the product, and and that's why I always say, new people move product to hot market because now you have a story. I call Kelly and I say, when Kelly and I start talking, she goes, Lisa, well, you're brand new. What's happened for you since you've been there? I'll say, Kelly, I've been in this for 3 days. I really don't know what I'm doing as of yet, but I love the products, and I've already sold $1,200 worth of products, and I don't know what I'm doing yet. If you want to know more about the business, please go watch this video, or let me get you on the phone with so-and-so, or go watch this because I don't know enough yet. But here's the secret to that. Most people get into this space, or any space, I suppose, and they think, oh my gosh, I have to learn everything about the comp plan, I have to learn everything about the products, I have to be able to present this, and oh my God, that guy was so good. In other words, look how compelling and interesting I have to be before I can start. And that's a crock. Because if I called you up and I was the most compelling speaker in the whole world, you're not sitting there by the phone waiting for me to call you up and tell you everything I ever knew about whatever product and company it is, but we're afraid to ask. So it's not about being interesting. What is everybody's favorite topic on earth?
Themselves.
The key is to be interested, not interesting, because here's what happens. I'll call Kelly, and we'll start talking, and I'll ask her how she is. And if she's doing great, and she would be, I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. She's got this wonderful relationship. She's in a fabulous company. But let's say she was like the rest of us, not like she is. I would call her up. Most people, if they're really doing well and you ask them how they are, they'll say awesome or great. You know what everybody else says? Fine. Fine. Nobody is fine. We are socially conditioned to say fine because we think people don't care. We're trained to not talk too much about ourselves, and we don't want to be, take too much of other people's time. You know what fine stands for? Effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. That's fine, and that's where most people find themselves in today's world. Whatever they're doing, there's something missing. They're not happy. Everybody suffers from the disease of terminal comparison. Everybody thinks that guy can be happy, but not me. She can do this, but I can't. So I get very interested in Kelly. And I'm only focused on 3 themes, because if she tries to turn the conversation back to me, I just want to focus in on her. And very quickly, you will find, if you go out and try this with people, that soon it takes on a life of its own, and they don't even realize that the whole conversation is about them, which is what you want it to be. Because when you go out when you go out sharing the business, you're married to the process, which is looking for those that are looking for you, but you're divorced from the result because only they know that, and you're there to give them a choice. So I'm going to eventually ask Kelly, Kelly, are you happy? And she's going to say, what do you mean? I mean, are you satisfied? Is life meeting your expectations? Is the road you're on, if nothing changes, going to take you somewhere you want to go? If time and money weren't an issue, how would you be spending your days, and what would you be doing with your time? And how's that different from what you're doing? And we're just having a conversation. Because eventually, and notice I never asked, do you want to make more money? Some of the very best people that choose to walk out of the rat race and into self-entrepreneurship do so because they want more freedom. They want control of their destiny. As a matter of fact, a lot of them are making a great deal of money and feel like they're in golden cages. I was one of them years ago. But happy and satisfied, and eventually everybody will get to the point where they're going to say, you know what, no, I'm really not all that satisfied. And then because the next thing I'm going to move around to is, well, that's okay. Most people aren't. I wasn't. Kelly, do you have a plan? What do you mean? Do you have a plan to change that? Because you deserve to be happy. Do you have a plan to get happy? I'm not asking her if she has a plan because I want to know if she has a plan. Obviously, she doesn't have a plan. If she had a plan, she'd be working her plan to get happy, not talking to me. But I want her to connect. I'm not that happy, and I don't have a plan right now because most people get so caught up they don't really connect with what's going on. They just kind of fall into a rut. Because the next thing I'm going to say to her is, Kelly, would you like to see one? It's probably not for you, although I'm sure you're going to love the products. Everybody does. But if you see what I see, I think together we can do something really special. And if you don't, at least you'll be on the road to find the plan that's going to get you the life you deserve. And you can check this one off the list as not being it. Because it's about her. It's about the relationship. It's not about getting her in my business. Nobody wants to be gotten. And it's not about making a sale. You know, because if you're going to make a sale, so to speak, if we're in the sharing business, if you handle it correctly, she'll do exactly what what the hot market does. If she goes through the process, all I'm doing is getting her in front of something, knowing, okay, I'm not happy, I don't have a plan, and I'm going to look at this one, and maybe I'll see something. But if I don't, I'm probably going to love the products because everybody does. So when it's all over and she's gone through the process, one of three things happens. She's either going to say, oh my gosh, this is it. Yay, we're going to go off and change the world together. She's going to say, I don't know if this is it, but I don't have a plan, and these people all seem so sure, and it seems kind of cool. Maybe I'll try it. Now, those people will quit faster than the first group, or at least go passive. Or she's going to say, at least it's really not for me. And I'm going to say, no problem, Kelly, but because while she was looking at it, she would have seen the presentation, all the products. These products are so awesome, and I would love it if you would help me and help yourself at the same time. Would you be a trial customer for me? Try this product, and if you like it, it's amazing. You can become a long-term preferred customer, and I'll get you a great deal on it. And if you don't, that's okay too. Now, do you think she's going to be more inclined to help me or less, or try my product if I treat her that versus all the pitching that goes on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Treat people with dignity and respect, and remember that you're offering them choices, which means they get a choice. They are going to remember that while everybody else was out to get them, you put them first. And if you put people first and you talk to enough people, you have to have confidence, because people are not numbers, but it's a numbers game. The ones that are supposed to be working with you will be there, and many who choose not to pursue the business will be consumers and introduce you to other consumers. And working through people to people, you'll find the superstars and the people that this really trips their trigger, because it's the most fun thing I've ever done, and it's a simple thing to do, but there's nothing easy about it. And if it's not for you, you shouldn't be forced into it. Most people are not doctors, although we all go to them. Most people don't own restaurants. We all eat in restaurants. Most people aren't in construction. We're all sitting in buildings that construction workers were involved in. And most people do not choose to be network marketing professionals, although the products are universal and appeal to everybody. And that's the secret. The rest is just, we get you to events for 3 days, and we can't give you information. We can't tell you in 45 minutes how to do it and send you home. You'd be disappointed. So we put a lot of other stuff on the stage to use up the time.
Wow.
That is really true. And Damaysi and I were just talking on the phone the other day. We were talking about the difference in recruiting and, having a customer base. And she is the follow-up queen. So I was going to ask you, what questions are you asking? And I think Lisa kind of covered some of the questions that are the basics. But what questions are you asking, and how are you following up with people?
You mean what questions do I ask when I follow up, when I call them?
Yep.
Well, okay, so I try to follow up the same day, right? Same day that I send them information. So let's say that this person is on Facebook or Instagram, or I send them or I call them and I send them to a information that gave you testimonies, right? Because I would say if I specialize in something, it's weight loss. So let's say that that little video or the pictures giving testimonies about weight loss, and I already established a rapport, and that person says, yes, I need to lose some weight. So I call them back and say, hey, did you get a chance to watch that video? And just like that, you never ever think that you're bothering anybody. And they're like, either say yes or no, and then I go from there. So what you like of what you saw. And they already supposedly, when I talked to them before, told me how much weight they want to lose, and kind of let it out, because I always ask questions. I want them to let it out. Like, what's bothering you? How many diets have you tried? And, maybe they hit a plateau, or maybe whatever, right? So pretty much after that, I mean, they keep talking and they keep telling themselves, and Honestly, only 3% of the sales are done on that second call. Believe it or not, I have done. I have done. Only 2% are done on the first call. Only 3% of the sales are done on the second call, and then I believe from the 7th to the 12th call is when 80% of the sales are done.
Bingo.
In fact, you know what? Let me show you. Let me tell you. I have it written down in here. Okay, so 2% of the sales on the first contact, 3% on the second contact, 5% on the third contact, 10% on the fourth contact, and 80% from 5th to 12th contact. And I've had people where I know I've called them at least 10 times, and I finally have sold them. And what you say, if the person say I don't have the money, or you know that you're not closing them that day, that's fine. Keep in touch. And then what would you say in 2 weeks? Let's say that you call them back. Hey, how's it going? So we talked about 2 weeks ago, and you said you wanted to lose 25 pounds, and and obviously they know what you're calling them back. But when it gets really funny is when it's been 3 months and they haven't bought, but they're still stuck in, So I call them and I almost, I smile. I'm like, okay, so have you lost them 25 pounds you wanted to lose 90 days ago, and what are you going to do about it? I put them in a place where they almost feel a little bit uncomfortable that, man, if I don't do something about my life, and I tell them this, in 3 more months, in a year, you're either going to be where you are or you're going to be worse. And I do it with a good heart. I do it obviously because I care, and in my heart I believe that is the best thing ever for them. What I have. So did that answer your question? Kind of.
It did.
Okay.
And see, she's interested in them, and she builds the relationship.
Right.
And by the time you get down the road, they're just talking to their girlfriend. It's not about that you were trying to sell them anything anymore, because now you're friends, because she was interested in them, and that it's really is what is most effective for the long term. And they will send, and those people will either eventually get in business with you, or in the alternative send you many more customers because you cared so much.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect.
Angie, did you want to ask Bruce any questions?
Yeah.
Because I know he recruits a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions at all. I'm nervous, guys. So many. I'm like the only guy on here, so forgive me. All right.
Think of it. Out of all the guys that all of us know combined, you are the only guy on here. What does that say about you?
Right? You should feel privileged.
I am actually. I was so quick to take a selfie. I was like, oh my god, I gotta take this.
Got to do a hangout, but gotta take a selfie.
Yeah, I gotta take a selfie.
Real quick, Lisa was touching on offering choice, and I know when me and you were chatting, Bruce, that's like exactly what you were talking about. You were talking about how that's how you go about, building such a massive team is, you just go and ask the right questions, qualify them for whatever it is, and get them going. So can you just share that with everybody, how exactly you do that? Because to me, it was genius when you said it. So I want you to share that, how you do that.
Okay, well, I mean, I do like 3 different ways. I get traffic from different sources. So I mean, it really depends. Like if somebody were to inbox me on Facebook, I will go about it a different way. But no matter what, no matter who joins my opportunity, or they're buying a product or whatnot, they have to fill out an application, because I'm the one they're working with. I don't, like I said to you, Angie, earlier, I don't just get anybody in and tell them just follow the system. I actually work with people individually and as a group of people. So how I have my business set up is they have to fill out an application. And I'm actually using a service that I think it's called Question Pro. That's what Walmart is using. I used to work at Walmart. So I'm using their service. So anytime when somebody get in contact with me and wants to work with me directly, I have an application set up. Then I have an assistant who does everything, checks everything, and my assistant knows exactly what I want, who I want to work with, qualifications and everything is met. and I need to know exactly what their budget is. So what the application is set for is before I even get on the phone with them, I already have everything in place so I can quickly close them. Hello, your name is such and such. You are in this company, or you're not in a company. You're looking to do such and such, whatever the case may be. So all I'm doing is trying to find out. When I get on the phone with them, I read the application to them, and they reconfirm everything to me. And then from there, I close them and I tell them, well, this is what you need to do next. And then I give them a game plan and stuff and what to do within the next 7 days. But I do it differently. Like if somebody were to hit me up on Facebook and they have watched my video, I would, and this is something that I just recently started doing, and which has went well for me. If they've watched my video, I would quickly ask them, well, what did you like best about the video? And then they'll be like, well, I liked the product, or I don't know, I like the comp plan. Then even if this is in person, I'll nod my head and be like, sounds like you're ready to get started. And then most likely they'll be like, you're damn right, I do want to get started. Yeah, I like this. I'm ready to get started. So then what I tell them to do, all right, well, I need you to pull out your credit card. I need you to go to the website, all right? And then from there, I need you to fill out the form. It's a call to action. I do a lot of call to actions, and I'm not afraid to tell somebody to pull out their credit card. I believe a lot of people are afraid to tell someone to pull out their credit card because they feel like that other person may feel as if they're just trying to make a commission. But I'm in this business to help and to serve. Most people have already seen my video. They've already seen my results. They know I don't really BS anyone. I just get straight to the point. And even when talking to new people, like, if my uncle wanted to get involved in this, I'll let him know right then and there, like, hey, Unc, here's the thing. You might have to get your knees bloody when you get involved in this industry. This isn't a job. This is a business that has to be built. All right. It's not going to always be easy. All right. So I'm really blunt with people. I don't sugarcoat anything. I get straight to the point, and I do a lot of call to actions. But I do put people first, and I do build a lot of connections with people. I do daily webinars. One of my mentors told me one of the quickest ways to really recruit, the fastest way is to build your list, your online list, and just do something live every week. I do two different live things like every week, twice a week. So that's what I do, and I get sales that way. So I get sales different ways, but most importantly, I do find out the problem with the person, what are they really struggling with, and then I offer a solution. But I'm very calm with it. I don't just hey, what's your problem? Okay, so this is what you need. I actually talk with the person, find out their needs, what are they struggling with. But I think it varies depending on what kind of company you're in and what kind of products you're selling. I sell different, like I sell like education, and I teach people how to market and then also make money online. And I know some of you guys on the panel, you guys sell, I don't know what you guys sell. Angie, what do you sell?
Well, we definitely have a more physical product.
Okay, physical product.
Yeah,
So,
like actual stuff people can physically use.
Mhm.
I know your stuff is kind of more like digital, and like tools, like learning
Right.
tools, things like
Mhm.
that.
But I believe it all works the same way. Like even if you were to, because I know a lot of people do like offline parties and stuff like that. I don't do that. I didn't build my business like that. I build it strictly online. But it's literally the same way. Like if you were to, you have your video presentation there with your company, right? The same way online is the same way offline. You get 10 people to your house. They watch the video, and you ask them, what do you like best about the video? They'll tell you, well, it sounds like you're ready to get started. All right, and that's how I would do it. And then I tell them call to action, because this is what you need to do. All right. Now, people online, it's really it varies dependent on the person. So 85% of people that joins my opportunity, my business, is they go through an application. So I know exactly what their needs are. I know exactly what they're struggling with. So I'm not just getting on the phone with someone and I don't know what if they even have the money to invest or if they even have a goal. So I have everything there in place, their goals, the how much they have to invest, their budget, their startup capital. All of that is on the application. I'm just there to get on the phone with them, and just give them a call to action. That's how I do it.
Okay, so I know that you're kind of using joining your team interchangeably with people who are also just buying product and are not, promoting the business. They just want the products. So I just want to make that clear for everybody. Like, he actually has way more customers than he has people like who are actively affiliates on his team. But would you say that you still do like the application process even if you know that they're only interested in products? Like if
Yes.
they come to you and they're like,
The
I just
reason
got the blog or this education that you have.
the reason why is because my time is being taken out of that, because I actually, like I said, I actually work with people. So that, yeah, the application is still set for customers, and that makes me look great, because they look at me as an authority. Like, wow, so I have to fill out an application just to join this team. So I'm not like an average marketer just slapping my join link out there. That's how I market. So with affiliates, customers, I work with customers and I work with affiliates. So I don't look at them any different. Affiliate just want to make money, customer just want to use the product. Either way, I still help people. So in order to use my time, I need to know if you're qualified first to even participate on my team. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Gotcha.
And I want to quickly introduce Ashley Hendricks. I didn't get a chance to before when we were opening up, but Ashley works really closely with somebody that I really admire. And Ray Higdon has tons of training, tons of videos, and tons of content out. And Ashley is really somebody that I admire too. So I'd like to introduce Ashley and ask, what it is in your business that you are doing. Are you trying to attract customers or recruit, or both? And what works for you and best in your business?
Yeah, I'm glad to answer that. Thank you so much for having me here. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the reason why I was late today was I was actually on a team hangout. We do we do a
Hey, Ashley, I'm
Central
a
and
big
Tuesday.
fan.
Hi, good to see you. So yeah, I'm honored to be a part of this panel, and I do. I work with Brennan. He's absolutely amazing. I was fortunate to really hop on board and join a team that was building the way that I wanted to from the start in this business. I know a lot of people don't necessarily find their home the first time, and I was, I think, one of the few unfortunately who did. And so at this point, for me personally, I am, obviously this growth in this industry works in phases, and right now I'm taking a concentrated focus on working with my people that I've just recently brought in to build out and build through. And so that's getting them into their warm markets and getting, just basically getting themselves out there, whether that's branding themselves online to attract customers and prospects to them, or actually following the steps that are evergreen in this industry to go out and, to have your parties and to, to reach out and get in touch with your warm market and build that way. We always focus really on the process and not the result. And for us and for what we're working with, we have a tool, a video tool that basically covers all the bases. And so what we train people to do is to just get out there and share the video, and then ask at the end of it, and because our product is travel, we ask them, do you like to travel, the money, or both? And from there what it is that they're most interested in. And so they can qualify themselves as being a potential teammate at that point, or somebody who's just interested in being a customer. And so they're able to go from there. Now, my sole experience is not limited just to travel. I mean, I was doing actual physical products before, but I think that the process, like Lisa said, is really the most important thing to consider, because you never know what somebody's going to be interested in. The person that you think is the most wealthy and successful person that could be, behind the scenes praying for something to show up that could change their lives. So I lay it all out on the table. And when I'm going through my warm market, and when I teach my teams to go through their warm market, it is very much a straightforward approach. There's kind of this sideways, kind of call it the Amway effect, and no bang against Amway, but like I can remember my stories about my uncle who was in that company like 30, 40 years ago, and how like the whole family just got really weird about him because the way that he was approaching people was really kind of sideways. And when you're going to your friends and family, you just need to go to them straight up. And I usually relate this to maybe opening a restaurant or becoming a realtor, you would have no qualms about going out and letting everybody that you know and making sure that everybody that you know tells everybody that they know that if you open a restaurant, that they need to come eat your meatballs, or that they need to, come to you if they need to buy or sell a home. And so whatever your product is in this industry, you need to be the go-to authority on that to your warm market. It doesn't matter what your actual level of technical authority is on the subject. People are going to refer you because they know, like, and trust you. And so if you condition that way, you're going to at least get the favor of those people to get you referrals, provided that they're not actually interested in trying it themselves. And then, of course, the no is never a no, and if you're following up like you should, the no can turn into yes, and usually does over time, either by, that person directly purchasing or joining, or by giving you a referral to the best customer referrer or the best, recruiter that you could possibly have on your team. So, so yeah, that's kind of how we're focusing right now. Is when we bring new people on board, we start out with hot and warm market. Because just like in the physical consumable products, the hot market is the best place to start. With travel, it's the same way. You think about the people that you would want to go on vacation with. Who do you talk to about traveling the most? It's your hot market, and so we start from there. And then I'll add one more thing, I guess, while I have my time, is at quarterly we do a blitz, and we're starting one tomorrow for a team actually. And what we do is we have a spreadsheet where we're tracking income producing activities. So everything is kind of graded out. And so, even people who are brand new, who've never built a business before, they'll understand that it will give you fewer points to attend training, like, a webinar or something, than it will for you to present your opportunity or present your product to somebody. And so you're able to actually track and give yourself benchmarks over time. And so we do these 30-day blitzes quarterly, and where that ultimately starts is creating a new list and revisiting your old list of who do you know that's hot right now, who would pick up the phone and recognize your voice, or come in and pick you up if you were broke down on the side of the road. Those are the people that you call first because they trust you.
I just want to say one thing to that, because if you listen, you'll see that everybody who's had success says it a little bit differently, but they all do the same things. And I always tell people, pick up your phone and really go through it, because if the people in your phone are not people that, if they called you and asked for your help, asked you to look at something with an open mind and make a choice, not to do anything beyond that, and you would say no to them, or in the alternative, if you think that if you call them, they would say no to you just to help you out, why are they in your phone?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And you could ask anybody, even, ask Ray Higdon. He probably has not called everybody that's in his phone. I know I haven't. Lisa, have you called everybody in your phone?
I'll tell you, Ray and I have had a lot of conversations on this. I always have people make the list, and everybody says, I don't want to make the list. You know why we have people make the list? Because there's two types of thinking. Scarcity thinking, like I don't have anybody to call, and abundance thinking. And if people start a list, they write down just everybody that comes to mind. I like a written list. Use your phone, but there's something about writing when you see the names coming out. Mm-hmm. The list gets so big, especially as you think of more people and you run into people. When people look at that, they're like, oh my gosh, I'll never get through all these names. And you won't. Because as your team starts to grow, you're going to be helping them with their list and have less time to call people on your own. And when people think, I'll never get through this whole list, they finally start to realize it's not about you, and it's not about the way you present. And sometimes it's not even about how wonderful your opportunity or product is, because all of that is filtered with whoever's at the other end of the phone. And if you have a huge list that you know you're never going to get through, then what each individual person does at any particular moment in time doesn't take them out of the game and doesn't matter so much. They start to get a more realistic, opinion, an understanding of what business does. Some of the biggest brands in the world only have 8% of the market in the space that they're in. So 80% of the people are never doing the same thing as the other people. So I think that's cool. And something else that listening to both Ashley and Damaysi is, imagine that every single person that you talk to, the 7th or 8th time that you spoke to them, would do something to help you in your business, whether it's that they bought a product, or they knew somebody was going to buy a product, or they introduced you to somebody that thought it might be for, because at this point they realize, gosh, this just isn't for me, but this is really good, and I think they like each other. So imagine that the 7th time every person would be doing business with you, improving your business, provided they still want to talk to you the 7th time around. And if you always treat them with the respect and dignity that they deserve, bearing in mind that it's a process, not an event, and every time you say goodbye, somebody should be excited the next time you call and say hello, your business will grow rapidly and have a lot of fun in the process. Because whether people do or don't, in the end, the best thing is the people you get to know. None of us are in the same opportunity, but because of the space and talking to each other, look at all the fun we can have working together. And we never would have met nobody would have ever met anybody if everybody was now just offering people choice. How are you? What are you doing? What's your choice today?
Right. Awesome, awesome. I actually have one last question, and it's geared more towards like Lisa and Ashley, because you guys really were talking pretty much the same exact thing, just in a different way. What would you say to somebody who has been in like 8 different businesses or something, has already like freaked out all of their hot market, like every single one of them? Nobody wants to hear anything about any product or company or home party or meeting or presentation or anything. They don't want to even look at it. What would you say then? What would be the next step for somebody like that? Because I know I'm not the only one in that situation. There are so many people out there who have already just drained their hot market.
Well, you want the truth, or you want me to sugarcoat it?
Truth, Lisa. Always the truth with me. I'm from Philly. That's how we are.
It's crap. See, network marketing isn't, if you're doing this, it's not about you, it's about them. And the reason people get into that boat is very often they go to their hot market, and rather than asking for their help and just to be a consumer and going through the process we talked about early on, they go out and they try to get them in business, and which is typically what they're probably sick of. But here's the thing. If I called Ashley, or Ashley was in a business meeting or something, for whatever reason it didn't work out, and 6 months later, whatever it is, unless she's won the lottery or her circumstances have significantly changed or she's found something that is her bliss, in which case she should be doing that, because there are so few truly happy people. I make it a practice never to interfere with one when I find them. But if she's in that, but unless it's really changed, it's still about her. So if it's about them, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. You think I'm an idiot. You think I don't know what I'm doing. You think I'm never going to make any money. And maybe you're right. But we're not talking about me. I called you because it's about you. Are you happy? Are you where you want to be? And this probably isn't for you, but here's the thing. Ashley, sorry to use you for an example for this one, Ash, but she wasn't. Ashley, I have always respected you. I have always thought you were a very sharp and smart business person. That's why I always come to you first. If I haven't portrayed that in the past, I'm sorry. But here's the thing, you're surprising me. Because smart business people say no to more things than they'll ever say yes to. They say no 90%, 95% of the time. But they always know what they're saying no to. And you always struck me as an open-minded person. And I'm shocked, Ashley, that you're telling me you're not even willing to listen to me or look at something without even knowing what it is, because I never saw you that way. Am I reading it wrong? Because that's really what it's about. It's about them. And you tell people, if you don't believe in me, that's okay. Because remember what I said at the beginning? You're asking people to help you. And if they don't want to buy something, okay. If they don't want to try your product, okay. But if they're not willing to sit and help you become better at what you're doing by letting you present to them or letting you go through with them or letting you field test on them, then are they really your hot market? See, I don't believe they're not willing. I don't believe these people are as sick of it as you think they are. I think that you're being held back by the fear of them being that they're going to laugh at you or you're going to look bad. But Ashley said it best. And maybe not with hot market, maybe you know their circumstances, but has anybody ever had a friend that got divorced? Not their best friend, but a friend. Mm-hmm. And you ever notice how everybody was happy and everything was perfect up until the day you heard that somebody left somebody? I would rather have people laugh at me, and it took me a long time to get here, and laugh at what I'm doing than to have them come back to me one day and say, I really could have used some help. I was a year away from losing my house or 8 months away from losing my house. Why didn't you call me? So at the end of the day, you have to decide if you love the people more than you hate the fact that they might laugh at you or think you're crazy. Because at the end of the day, what they think doesn't matter. It only matters what you think.
That's good.
That's powerful.
Wow.
The sooner you can get over yourself, the faster you'll be successful. Because it's not about you at all. And I also tell people to add to that, you have a responsibility because you found something that you know can change your life, and it's a gift. And you have to look at it that way. And this is a gift that can bless others in ways that you can't comprehend. And you can't play God, and you can't act like you know what they need and what they don't. And so you have a responsibility to go to the people that you care about and share this with them. And again, lead with the product like you should with your warm market. But remember that the point is just to make sure that they know. Because if they care about you, they're going to remember. They're going to care about you being successful. Maybe it doesn't necessarily mean that they purchase, but they will remember. And when somebody else, and again, I'll use my example because it's what we do, but when somebody that they know is like, oh, I want to go on vacation, they're like, call Ashley. And they do that, and I get referrals for that all the time. I've had referrals from, connections in network marketing who are in other companies. It works the same way. But one other thing that I add when I'm talking to people who have been in multiple companies and they feel like they've burnt out their warm market, what Lisa says, first and foremost, burning out your warm market's a lie. You have not talked to everybody, and if they're turning you down like that and stepping on your dreams, they're not your hot market anyway. But you have a responsibility to show everybody what you have to offer, because you're going to crush this, and 6 months, 12 months from now, who's going to be sitting and watching? They're judging you right now, or you think they are. 6, 12 months from now, they're going to be in the same position, and you will be in a position to change your life, or will have already started changing your life. And you owe it to the people that you know and love to take them with you should they decide to go.
And the one thing I would add to that, I think everybody has a right to all the information, whatever. I mean, and to make a choice based on all. Now, when I deal with hot market, I believe in leading with the product, because the reason I do it that way is people need the support and love of their family. They don't need them in their business. When they go out and they go all crazy, excited, getting out of the meeting, because that's where they go first, they look kind of crazy, and their friends, family wants to save them. When they go to their family, you teach them to say, I've started a business, I'm really excited about it, I'm not asking you to join it, not even asking you, to commit to being a long-term customer, but I'm going to ask you to help me out and try it and see if you want to be a long-term customer. Don't turn it down out of hand. That gets them the support of their family because it's rational, it sounds rational, it helps get a story. But after that, whether you lead with the product or you say, you want to lose weight, oh my gosh, I've got this great weight loss product, everybody deserves to have all the information that's available so that they can make the best possible choice for their family, whether it's yes or no, not to have information that you filter because you have a preconceived notion of what they want to hear.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think more people should lead with the product or, that they're passionate about. A lot of people don't even use the product that they're trying to pitch.
That never works long term.
No, it's not sustainable at all.
Not sustainable, and it's ridiculous. I mean, how are you going to build an exciting... Now, if a company has 87 products, I'm not suggesting you need to be super consumer and use every one of them. But if you don't have a couple of products that every month you would use regardless of whether there was an opportunity or not, how can you possibly go out and get other people excited about that product? I don't like it, but you need to love it so I can make money. It just doesn't resonate with me.
Right. That'd be like me, a vegetarian, selling steaks. I could make a lot of money, but really...
I would buy anything from you, so yes.
My family would look at me like I was crazy. And ultimately, it's that you have the ability to transfer belief through your excitement, not only to your prospects but to your team. And if you aren't a user of your products, your team probably won't be the user of products either. And unless, obviously all companies are pretty
whether you want it or not.
Product purchases happening within your organization, you're not going to have a profitable business at all, or not for long. So it's important.
That's an important point, Ashley, because duplication happens whether you want it or not.
Mm-hmm.
When People say it isn't duplicating. Yeah, it is. The question is, what are you duplicating? And she's absolutely right. Find a person find a leader who doesn't use their product and isn't plugged in, and you'll find by the time you get 10 levels below, people are saying, "What company is this, and what do we sell?"
Right.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Oh, I've seen it.
That's
Wow,
what
that's awful.
numbers game
Yeah,
and like
I'd like to say also is, we all have businesses. I try when I can to buy. Network marketing has great products, and for the most part, really well priced products. I try to buy as much as I can from products in network marketing to support the industry. So that's something that if everybody did, that duplicates too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of supporting one another.
That's important.
Great products that get delivered to my door because I never have any time anymore to go out and buy it.
Right, my Mary Kay lady is my top producer's wife. Perfect.
Well, thank you, ladies, for being on this hangout with us. Really lots of value, and I think, I learned a lot tonight. I don't know about...
I learned from all of you.
Yeah. And I appreciate all of you.
Fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine, right?
Oh my God.
We live in a world of fine people, all waiting for you to show up and give them a better alternative.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Yeah, this was the most incredible hangout I think I've ever been on. This just summed up so many questions that so many people have and so many struggles I know that so many people have out there. I was just talking to a girl earlier tonight who I'm pretty good friends with, and I met her through the industry, and she was just like, I feel lost. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to believe in myself, pretty much. And it was just like touching because I know there's so many people out there like that. So
that's one of those beautiful things about the industry, though, is we get to believe in people sometimes when they're not able to believe in themselves yet, and we're able to put them in environments that are just a little bit brighter and a little bit more colorful and a little bit more optimistic and a lot more gung-ho than the world at large. And that's one of the coolest things about doing what we do. I love what we do.
I do too. I'm going to have to agree with that. I've met some incredible people, and all inspiring, uplifting, very motivating people.
Absolutely.
That's because I don't think, well, actually you're all young and beautiful, but when I was growing up, I always had an issue with the really, the happy childhood, beautiful, pretty people where everything was perfect. But I've discovered that they don't really do exciting things when they get older because you have to go through all that angst and all that self-doubt and all those things to come out the other side, and then you want to go help other people do it. So I feel like my payoff is that all those cheerleaders are like in suburbia somewhere, never to be heard from again. Because they sure made me feel, I sure felt, not all those things that when you're not a cheerleader who looks like a cheerleader like you feel all through high school and college.
Oh my God. It builds character, does it not?
I have many character building experiences. I'm writing that one down. The character building years. Who knew they lasted till you were 40?
Oh, we could share stories. So I think one of the biggest takeaways for people who have hang-ups about sharing what they're doing in this industry is that there's this sort of, I don't know, they kind of allow a stigma to be placed on what it is that they're doing, and so they expect to have to approach the people, what warm market, cold market, whatever, in some kind of like roundabout way, like it's not MLM.
Yeah.
But if you could just be natural and just be about it, people will get curious. You would be so surprised at how many people who don't even know what Amway is. They don't even know.
Crazy.
It is really true. And these, it's funny, and a lot of people know what Amway is. Amway's product has 8% of the laundry soap market. At 8%, that's huge. And you won't find 5 people that can tell you what that product's name is, which proves that it is this person-to-person thing that makes it all happen.
Yep.
Wow. You said they have 8% of the laundry soap?
8% of the laundry soap market.
That's
and
incredible.
Find 10 people that could tell you what the product. It's called SA8, but that's only because I'm old. I've met a lot of people that used to be in Amway, but in the 107 years I've been doing network marketing.
That is so interesting and so awesome. I mean, no matter what company you're a part of, what product you promote, like that tells you something. Amway's been around since what, the 40s, right? And there's so much room to grow.
Because they build an incredible culture. You know, they have products. Their products are obviously good. We all make fun of them, but if it wasn't for them, none of us would be here. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, you have to sit back and go, okay, they have 8% of the soap market, and most people, the last time somebody clapped for them was their high school graduation, and Amway went out and took all of these people. I've met more people that tell me they never made money inside of the industry, millionaires outside of the industry. Oh yeah, I was in Amway once. Did you make any money? Nope. But it was there that I learned that I could be something more. It was there that I got a glimmer that I could take control of my destiny. It was there that I became a better version of myself.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, that's what network marketing is at its core level for each person if they decide to make it that. Because, you know, Mark Twain used to say that education is what happens after you get over all the nonsense they taught you in school. And network marketing is the most incredible. It's personal development attached to wonderful lifestyle and opportunity. Because you have to become more than you are to have more than you have. And where else can you go with nothing but sweat and a belief and a dream and very little money, and out of a spare bedroom in your home become a multi-millionaire on a global scale, except the space.
Yep, incentivize personal development. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The best companies in the history of this industry, I think, have even branded themselves in some ways to their distributor base as being a like a personal development company with with makeup attached, like Arbonne,
with product.
Mike Vázquez.
Skincare.
Mike Vázquez is a really good friend. I actually brought him in the industry 100 years ago, and he says that all the time. He says that his company, he was in TPN with Jeff and Eric and had sponsored 5 people in 6 months. And then he came and worked with myself, and it was him and Wayne and Jefferson and Brad. They were all, we still work with those guys. Curtis and I consult on him. He was over there a couple days ago. But anyway, he always says that his
company, by the way,
guys. A personal development company attached to a personal development company with fantastic travel, masquerading as travel, because that's what great companies are. And all of the companies that stand the test of time, that do that kind of revenue, that grow year after year, it's not easy. It is simple. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not supposed to. Anything that has any kind of sustainability is going to have to be rooted, and it's really, and people have to begin to trust in themselves, trust in the group, trust in the leadership, and then learn that when you want to be successful and you get started at anything new, you shut up and you listen to the people that have done what you want to do until you're there. And that took me 3 years to figure out. But, some people are slower, most are quicker, and here I still sit. So there's hope for everybody.
It took me about 6 months. But when I set it down, I got results.
Yeah, it took me like a year and a half.
Yep, and that's usually what it is. That's what's standing in the way. It's listening. Like, there's somebody that's got the results that you want that is telling you exactly what you need to do, and you're probably not listening.
Yeah, right. It makes about as much sense as calling up somebody and saying, "Give me your recipe for lasagna. I want to learn how to make it." They send you the recipe, and then you only do half the things it says on the recipe. Half you make up and throw in the pot, and then you say, "But it doesn't look like lasagna, and it doesn't taste like lasagna." Well, everything that's on the recipe is there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It is a business. It is a business, and it is a hard learning curve because, the best analogy, I think sometimes when you're teaching people, one of the mistakes I think we make in business is we're trying to get people to understand concepts that are foreign. They were foreign to us once, and we try to explain them using in the same space. As if you say it over and over again. And I once had somebody get through to me when I was early in my career, and they said it like this. They said, imagine this. Ashley, you're a medical student. Okay, you're in your second year of medical school, and you come home, and you're not in a very good mood, and your dad says, "What's the matter?" And say, "I'm really mad." Why? Well, the neurosurgeons came today, and they told us that next week we could watch a neurosurgery. And I said, I want to get in there and operate with you. And would you believe they told me I have to finish medical school, and then after I do that, I have to go be an intern. And after that, I have to take general surgery, and only after I finish that can I take neurosurgery and actually go cut people's heads open. I don't understand why they won't let me do it now. Nobody would ever say that. Network marketing is a business like everything else. And, you know, you will get to college if you keep going, and you will get the PhD, and you will be the top professor. But I've never met anybody that started grad school before they finished kindergarten, first and second grade. And if you do, I want to meet them, because that would be amazing to me. And this is no different. The neat thing is that you have an enormous group of people who are incentivized both emotionally, because you have to love the people, love what you're doing, and financially in some way, even if they're not in your upline, because a rising tide floats all boats, that will spend time with you and teach you everything you need to know. And that is so rare. I mean, I'm like a poster child for how wonderful the space is, but it changed my life, and it's changed a lot of people's lives, and it works.
That's amazing. I love you, Lisa.
You guys need to go. You guys need to get to Recruiting Mastery if you can. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event. There's going to be 8,000 people there. It will set your learning curve. It'll shave years off, because it is really, really an amazing event. Eric is stupendous at teaching the fundamentals and the skills. At the very least, if you haven't read his book, get it and read it, and get it on live stream if you can't go live.
Yeah, what are the dates for that?
Live, you'll get the experience, and I firmly believe all breakthroughs happen at events.
What are the dates for that, Lisa?
November 20th to the 23rd, and the final tickets just went on sale today. Mm-hmm. And it's going to sell out soon. But if you get together in groups of 5, you can get a really good deal on them. And I would just be there if I could be. I mean, I'm going to be there, but you guys should be there. It's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah, if you could imagine what GoPro the book, if you've read and gone through GoPro or given it to your team, if you could imagine kind of like the eye-opening experience. Because I remember when I handed that to my first teammate that got the book, they came back to me and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so simple." Right? Imagine everybody in your organization thinking that way. I'm going to do what I can to get there. I'm supposed to have a vacation scheduled around that time, but at the very least, I'm live.
Obviously, if you can't be there, there's always a hope, of course, but I want to see you live and in person. Are you going to be at the thing in Austin in September?
I'm not entirely sure, but I will be in that area soon. I've got a couple of clients I need to go visit in Dallas and Austin. I've got some teams growing out that way too, so I'll be down there.
Next week, but if I'm in town and you need a place to stay, you need anything, just call me. I'll take you out. I'll show you around. You're always welcome here.
Thank you.
Aww.
Do you live in Austin, Lisa?
I live in Dallas, but I'm almost never here. I leave next. I was supposed to be in Vegas with Eric this weekend, but that's kind of been postponed a little bit because we got a video shoot. But I leave for Scandinavia next Tuesday, and I'll be in Europe for 4.5, 5 weeks. I get back. I'm home for 2 days. I'm going to train a team in Hawaii, and then I'm speaking in Austin, and then I go to Turkey on another company that we're helping as incentive trip, and then I come back from there and I go to Asia for a month, touring, taking care of our teams, and then I come home and I go to Eric's, and then it's speak at Eric's event, and then it's Thanksgiving. But then life is simpler.
You need a vacation, Lisa.
My life is a vacation. I get to run around the world.
I know. I love it.
I just think this technology changed my life, because now I feel like I can still keep in touch with whoever I need to, wherever they are, and still go to these insane places that I go. And you all need to go too. We're all going to go on vacation together.
Yes.
I can't wait.
I think I know where you might be able to find a good deal on that.
That's what I was talking about. I mean, Ray and Fernie and I were out talking the other day.
Connect me to your great deal.
Are you speaking at Brian's event in Austin?
You mean at MLSP? Yeah. At least Brian sent me an email that I was, but he hasn't announced it yet. We were keeping each talk live. and I'm now. He said, I'm going to be there anyway, and so I mean, I might talk for 10 minutes, but I at least can give an industry flair to it. And I just realized we're broadcasting live, and he hadn't announced that yet, so don't tell anybody.
I've been meaning to go. I missed it last year. I told myself that the only generic industry event that I really wanted to go to was Eric's event. But seeing as how I might be traveling at that point, I may just go to Austin. I've got plans to go there anyway, so we'll connect. And you hope to come to Alabama. You'd be surprised. Alabama has some very nice things.
I think they're all great, but I'm telling you, but if you can get to Eric's event, I think it's very special. I believe it, and I firmly believe this. It's really not about information. Everybody thinks that it is, and I probably shouldn't end on this because I'm giving information all night, but it really. I mean, I'll tell you a quick story to prove the point. Back in the dark ages, when I was growing up, and you guys weren't here yet, I heard this rumor, and the rumor was that there was this mythical, magical building in almost every town, a place where you could go, and you could get all the information and all of the knowledge known to man on any topic from the greatest minds ever, and it was free, and they would give you this magical passport that would let you take the information home, borrow it, and read it, and then take it back. I mean, you could learn about the theory of relativity from Einstein, and you could learn about physics from Newton, and you name it, the very best. And I found out as I grew up that it really did exist, and it was called a library. And yet, only 3% of the people at the time had library cards. And then, as I got older, there was this mythical, magical thing coming out called Gopher. Today it's called the World Wide Web. And using that, without even having to go through the ice and the snow, the 2 blocks to the library, you could get all of the information about any topic you can think of, from aardvark to zoology and everything in between, from the greatest minds, including network marketing, by the way, for free. Anything you wanted to know. And today, you don't even have to be tied to that box at a desk, because anywhere you are in the world, there's this thing called Google now. And with it, you can just talk to it and ask a question and anything you want to know from anybody in the world for free. And yet, everybody walks around all day wanting to find out, how do I do this and how do I do that? And what they're really asking is, can I do this and can I do that? It's a change in thinking and a change in perspective. And the very biggest breakthroughs in my career, and I would tell you virtually anybody's that you'll ever talk to, come at events.
Yeah.
And Eric's event is special for so many ways, but one reason is, more often than not, people only have the opportunity to hear from the top leaders in their own company. And they're all fantastic, or they wouldn't be the top leaders. But at his event, you have the opportunity to hear from people that, other than that event, only speak to people in their own companies. And it's really, really amazing to go. It's something that you said, Angie, when you go and you see all these successful people who essentially are all saying the same thing in a different way. Success leaves clues. People finally start to figure out, oh my gosh, what they're telling, everything they're saying is really how it works. And once they get that and they're willing to actually say, get out of their own way, the magic really starts to happen. Now, is it fatal if you don't go to events? Of course not, for those of you that are watching. But people that are successful typically are successful because they do everything they can to be successful, and they don't leave too many opportunities by the wayside. So if you can get there, you should. If you can't get there, get on live stream. If you can't do that, get the book. I draw the line. Everything is minnows if you have to read that book.
I've probably listened to that audiobook like at least 8 or 9 times in the past 3 months.
Remember that 3 years of stubbornness I told you about at the beginning of my career? I am convinced with that book I would have cut that down to 1.5 years easy.
Right. I've had a lot of people say that, they wish that they were introduced to that book a long time ago, before they started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no better point to end on. If we want to chit-chat a little bit more afterwards, that's fine. No one's in a rush to hop off, if that's the thing. But, yeah, I will end the broadcast because we've been live for like an hour and a half now. You can't put like amazing women on one panel and not expect it to go past an hour. So I'll just close this out. Does anyone have any last things they want to say?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you all for being on.
This has been incredible. So thank you all for joining, and maybe we could do this again sometime.
Anytime, guys.
Mm-hmm.